Potential peace talks between the U.S. and Iran.
Talks are continuing and going well.
As a month passes since the war began. Taking a look into public transportation.
The waiting is a lot of time.
The impacts commuters face on the metro rail. Behind the scenes.
Most reliable, highest performance upper stage engine in the world.
A special tool that will soon help make space history. And a special visit on campus.
You got to do what they tell you to do.
In honor of Women's History Month, these stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Valentina Gaspari.
And I'm Nicolette Esper. Today's Tuesday, March 31st, 2026.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
This morning, the White House says Iran and the U.S. are currently discussing plans for peace. Meanwhile, Iranian officials deny it.
CNN's Cheryl Hubbard has the latest updates on Iran's response and how these peace talks are going.
Thick smoke was seen rising from an Israeli oil refinery after being hit by debris from an intercepted attack Monday. And new images of a wrecked U.S. aircraft with a damaged fuselage have surfaced. This more than 1 month into the U.S.-Israel war with Iran, the White House downplayed fears of further escalation and gave a status update Monday.
Despite all of the public posturing you hear from the regime and false reporting, talks are continuing and going well.
However, Iran says they are not.
As I have mentioned before, the material conveyed to us under any title, such as the 15-point plan, has mainly included largely excessive, unrealistic, and unreasonable demands.
In a Truth Social post, President Trump detailing some of his plan and the consequences of not reaching a deal, saying, quote, if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants and oil wells.
Their best move is to make a deal.
Trump says the U.S. is in discussions with a, quote, new and more reasonable Iranian regime. However, he's given an April 6th deadline to reach a deal with Tehran, after which point, according to him, the targeting of Iranian energy sites would proceed. I'm Cheryl Hubbard reporting.
New this morning, Palm Beach International Airport could be renamed after Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill to honor President Donald Trump. The Florida governor signed the bill yesterday after State House and Senate approved it last month. The bill still requires approval by the Federal Aviation Administration, but if approved, the airport will effectively be renamed to President Donald J. Trump International Airport on July 1st.
And listen to this. What started as a group of teenagers with a class project is now a one-of-a-kind house. Students of Cunningham High School in South Central Kansas are building a fully functional one-bedroom house. They focused on the framing and roof last year, and with the help of their teacher, they carried out their vision and are working on the final touches.
6 years ago, I had a class of, I think, 8 or 9 seniors, and so I just brought the idea up to them, what if we did a house instead of doing woodworking, and they all agreed to it.
At the end of the school year, the house will be up for auction. The funds will go towards paying it off and giving back to the school's program.
For a growing city like Miami, many residents rely on public transportation, yet commuters are facing troubling delays, making it difficult to get from one place to another on time. Caplin News reporter Camila Bredas has more.
Metrorail is a key transportation option for commuters traveling through Miami, but outside of rush hour, scheduled services changes mean riders can wait significantly longer for the next train.
Luis Quevedo commutes by Metrorail from Government Center to Dadeland South. Like many riders, he depends on the train to get to work, but says the time spent waiting on the platform can be unpredictable.
During peak hours, the waiting is not really long, but when it's late and I'm coming home from work, the waiting is a lot of time. And sometimes there's not much people, and then they have to stop the trains to make maintenance, and this really ruins the experience.
According to Miami-Dade transit schedules, Trains arrive every 5 minutes during rush hour, but after 8 p.m., service drops to roughly every 20 to 30 minutes. To better understand how longer wait times affect operations and rider experience, we spoke with Vivian Gu, an assistant professor in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Florida State University. She said that the impact of a delay depends largely on how often trains are scheduled to arrive.
If a train runs every 10 minutes, a short delay isn't a catastrophe. But if train comes every 30 minutes, a 5-minute delay can feel like a major setback.
How often trains arrive remains a key factor in whether commuters choose Metro Rail or turn back to traffic. For Caplin News, this is Camila Bretas.
Well, it's a big day for space fans tomorrow. 4 astronauts will be lifting off from the Kennedy Space Center and will journey to orbit around the moon in the Artemis II mission. CBS 12's Tiffany Rizzo takes us into the work, but into launching the rocket and what's to come.
That roar will launch NASA astronauts into space and history in early April. NASA is set to launch Artemis II. 4 people will orbit the moon, getting them off of Earth and onto their target path. That's where L3 Harris comes in.
Liquid hydrogen enters the fuel pump right here and then up into the injector and through the nozzle and provide 25,000 pounds of thrust.
As Chief Engineer Reed Kukuska explains.
It's the most dependable, most reliable, highest performance upper stage engine in the world.
Engineers here designed and built the RL-10 engine.
Powered by liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen.
And it's already been put to the test, successfully propelling Artemis 1 around the moon.
And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
This engine fires in space, part of a separation sequence that boosts the manned spacecraft, the Orion, towards the moon.
So if the engine doesn't fire, the astronauts are still safe. They can return to Earth. The Orion and its service module has an engine that can get them back.
The 4 astronauts who will fly this mission even visited the facility here in Palm Beach County. Eventually, NASA astronauts will go to Mars, but the moon is a stepping stone and a potential gas station.
Everything we're practicing could eventually be used to go to Mars. We think there is water in permanently shadowed craters on the south pole of the moon.
That water could be turned into fuel to ultimately reach the red planet. And this upcoming mission represents the future and the past, a throwback to the glory days of the Apollo program.
3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition.
But every once in a while you do sort of pinch yourself and go, holy cow, I get to work on the actual rockets that are returning people to the moon.
I'm reporting from the engine assembly area. Tiffany Rizzo, CBS 12 News.
Basketball fans get excited because the Heat are trying everything that they can to get a spot in the play-in as they rally and seal the game against the 76ers.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
He said, but what would you do if you were me? That's all I want to know.
Woman empowerment takes place in a discussion with a special guest on campus. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
The former wife of boxer Muhammad Ali speaks on campus. Dr. Khalila Camacho Ali shared her story of resilience to some of the students here at FIU last Friday.
It comes as Women's History Month comes to an end. Caplin Zipporah Hayes spoke with the special guest and has more.
I ran behind Betty's skirt, right? I said, "You can't touch me. I'm with your wife." He said, I said, "You're not going to tell Elijah's mom." I said, no.
Last Friday, a live interview with Dr. Khalila Ali opened with a powerful reflection on her childhood memories. She shared stories of being surrounded by iconic leaders like Malcolm X and his wife Betty Shabazz, including a symbolic memory of bringing apples to her teacher.
I was the apple girl, okay? I had a bag of apples, and every Monday, I would give each one of my teachers, we had like 6, 7 teachers, I would put an apple.
Many noted how her voice, cadence, and storytelling echoed Muhammad Ali's spirit so strongly. It felt as if he were in the room.
You got to do what they tell you to do. This is the law. He said, "But what would you do if you were me? That's all I want to know." I said, "You really want to know?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Hell no, I ain't gonna go clean out my cell, take me to jail without bail. Hell no."
In the audience Q&A, Dr. Khalila Ali offered words of encouragement and resilience. Guests left with autographed photos of Dr. Khalila Ali and Muhammad Ali, along with first edition copies of her latest book, Undefeated: The Untold Story of My Forgiveness and Healing, making the intimate event feel exclusive and unforgettable. As Women's Month comes to a close, her story serves as a lasting reminder. Your past does not define you. Your purpose does. Thank you to everyone who joined us here at the Copenhagen Center, and to those watching from home. We appreciate you being part of this powerful conversation. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Zipporah Hayes.
Well, the only time I'll root for the Miami Heat is when they beat Philadelphia, because last night they secured a big win over the Philadelphia 76ers. The Heat came out strong, holding the lead through the first quarter, but the 76ers stayed close and managed to take control in the second. It was a back and forth battle until Miami turned up the heat in the third. The game stayed tight down the stretch as both sides fought hard, but when the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard read 119-109, Heat on top. Miami now looks ahead as they face the Boston Celtics, another one that I'm not a fan of, tomorrow night. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panthertech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Well, that's all the time we have for Newsbreak this morning. I'm Valentina Gaspari.
And I'm Nicolette Esper. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.